Hello, my name is Madeline and I have been living in the UK just over 6 months now. I moved from Melbourne, Australia to Kent in England and I absolutely love it here. So we've been in lockdown for most of my time here so far, which has been alright, hasn't been too bad, but I am very keen to get out and explore more of the country. Today I wanted to share the things that I have been loving about living here so far. The first thing that I have been loving is the British countryside. It is so picturesque and we have the great pleasure of living not too far from the countryside. We are in a town and we don't have to go more than about a 5-minute drive and then we're directly in the countryside. So I'm loving going for walks through the countryside. It's so amazing. Also really loving the public footpaths. Sometimes you get to go through people's property, which you wouldn't normally be able to do back home in Australia. Everything's pretty much private property, or you're seen as trespassing. So you get to see a whole lot more of the places that you wouldn't normally be able to when you are just walking along the side of the road. Also, speaking of roads, driving through the countryside is quite stressful but fun at the same time. There is a lot of narrow roads, only one car will fit, and they've got little paths where you can just pull to the side, let the car come that's coming the other way. Although sometimes you end up being face to face with a car because you come around the corner and you're like, oh no, there's a car there. So you end up having to reverse a little bit, but it's really fun, also a little scary. So the next thing on my list of things that I really love, it's the animals. So the animals here are very cute. Australia may have all the unique animals, but there's something very nostalgic for me, at least, of the animals here in the UK. I grew up watching a lot of British television and a lot of British-based storybooks. So seeing the animals in real life that I saw when I was growing up brings back a lot of nostalgic, fun memories, and I just feel very happy for some reason. And because we have a garden, I love just sitting outside watching the birds. It's become a big habit during lockdown, and there's a lot of cats. Just about every house on this street has a cat, and my cat really doesn't like it. The next thing I absolutely love about living here is the ability to travel. And I don't just mean traveling abroad, because we can't do that right now, obviously. Just exploring the UK is quite easy, and it's not too far to go to Wales for the weekend or to Scotland, because they're within a reasonable driving distance. It's 5 hours drive and you get to the edge of Wales from where I am. You might think that is a long drive, but for us back in Melbourne, we would drive 5 hours and we'd still be in the same state. So yeah, I love that things are quite close by. Also very keen to explore some weekends abroad when we can. I'm not used to being able to go on a short haul flight overseas. Anything that I have done has been 5 hours plus. When I was living in Australia, I didn't realize how isolated we actually were, but I think that is the main reason why we don't travel very often. I'm very much looking forward to traveling and not having that ginormous flight, only when I have to go back home. My next favorite is the weather. I can't believe what people said leading up to us moving overseas. They'll be like, you'll never see the sun again. Because we arrived in winter, I was expecting, you know, rain, clouds. It was very sunny. The days were short, but very sunny a lot of the time. What were people talking about? And the thing I love most about the weather, I know what to expect when I check the weather app. In Melbourne, our weather is not that constant. We get like a whole range of weather, sometimes all in the one day. The only thing that I'm still getting used to is the sun being out so early in summer. It starts getting light about 4 a.m. and I've had to invest in some good curtains so I don't get woken up. The next thing I really love about living here is the public transport. Australia's not really connected with public transport, so coming here and being able to take a train from London to Scotland or anywhere else in England is just like, I think we can get to Sydney, but you have to change to a bus at some stage. I think they might have updated that now. But the last time I tried to see if I could take a train to Sydney, you can get a train to the border, catch a bus, and then hop on another train. And I'm like, doesn't seem very simple. So I ended up flying every time I went to Sydney. Never attempted to take the train because it's really expensive and I don't think it was worth it. When we first went on our Europe trip, we took a train from London to Liverpool and ended in Glasgow. We had a couple days in Liverpool and it was really fun. So yeah, I really love public transport here. I haven't had much experience with buses. First time that we were in London, we got on a bus at the back of the door, at the back door, and we didn't know that you couldn't get on at the back door. The bus driver sat there watching us until we realized that he was looking at us and like he wasn't driving off or anything. We're like, what's going on? And then he was waiting for us to get off from the back door and enter to the front of the bus. Because we can get on and off the buses any door in Melbourne, and they have like touch on sections at all doors. So we were just like, oh no. That was like, it was pretty funny, but like now I know not to get on at the back door. So the last thing that I have been loving about living here is the people. Everyone has been so friendly, so welcoming, and I feel very much at home here. Even though I haven't lived here for very long, the people in shops down the street, driving, everyone's been fantastic. And I don't know if I was expecting people to be mean. I don't think so. I didn't expect people to be so kind. And people that we have met, everyone has been so friendly. Although my husband does bring out everyone's kindness. When I'm walking, cars will stop to allow me to cross the road, and I'm like, I was waiting for you. Why are you stopping for me? Even driving here is a lot different. Like, people are courteous drivers here in comparison to Melbourne, where I stopped driving because I got very anxious. Australians might be nice, but it goes out the window when you're on the road. Yeah, it was very stressful, and I am so much happier here. My driving anxiety is slowly going away. I still need to get used to driving again because it's been a year plus since I have driven last. I've done a few quick short drives here, but I'm still getting back into things, and I'm just finding that here everyone is patient on the road, and it's refreshing, at least for me. But yeah, I think I got off track there with the driving thing. I just wanted to say how nice everyone is. Anyway, that has been everything that I've been loving about living here so far. I'm sure I will have more things that I enjoy as I live here for longer. And I can't wait to get to explore more of this beautiful island. Let me know what you enjoy about living here, or if you don't live here, what you enjoy about living in your own country. I will see you in my next one.